Hi everyone, as promised, today's video is focused on top whiskey brands of Ireland and Scotland. This video will go in the depth of all the brands that I have shown in my previous video. So do check that before starting with this, the link is in the description. We will be covering the Scottish and Irish brands of whiskey. We will learn about their different products and in-depth analysis on how they are made and how they are promoted. So let's start with the Irish whiskies. I will be doing this in terms of the distilleries. You can pause the slides or take a screenshot anytime because I won't be able to cover every variety verbally. And if any question arises, do post it in the comment section. Kilbeggan is a blended whiskey and also produces a single grain. The blended whiskey has two varieties of 15 years and 18 years. For the single grain, there are 6 years, 8 years, 15 and 18 years version. The 15 and 18 are quite rare as only around 4,000 bottles are produced. The Connemara is a single malt with peat flavor. Now this for an Irish whiskey is an exception as it is a double distilled. Then there is the Tyrconnell and two gingers. For Bushmills, the Red Bush is one of the most known whiskey of this region, known for its caramel-induced amber color. Now the Black Bush is aged up to 7 years in two types of cask. One is bourbon and the other one is Oloroso sherry cask. The Oloroso is a variety of sherry that is made in Jerez in Spain. The Bushmills 1608 was released on the 400th anniversary of the distillery, and it was only available at the whiskey shop at this distillery in the first. However, later these were available at duty-free shops also. Teeling small batch has been covered in the previous video. The Teeling single grain is matured in Californian Cabernet Sauvignon barrels. The Cabernet Sauvignon is a black grape variety used to make red wines. Teeling single malt is matured in 5 different types of cask: sherry, port, Madeira, white burgundy and Cabernet Sauvignon. This sherry, port, Madeira are all fortified wines from Spain and Portugal. Now the new concept here to learn is Solera. Solera is actually a system of maturing by fractional blending in such a way that the finished product that we get is a blend of mixture of ages. We will learn about Solera and all fortified wines in my upcoming videos soon. Teeling Revival is matured in ex-bourbon casks and finished in Calvados cask. So this Calvados is an apple brandy from Normandy in France. Tullamore Original has a very specific stat of number 3. It contains 3 natural ingredients, 3 grain distillation varieties and 3 maturation casks. The cider cask finish is aged in Oloroso sherry or ex-bourbon barrels and finished in a seasoned cider barrel. So to learn here is that whiskies, or rather any spirit that is mature, gets its additional and prominent flavors from these casks, and hence the aging period is so important. Now we will talk about some of the best Irish whiskies. Jameson is owned by Pernod Ricard, which is world's second largest wine and spirit seller. Now here the Caskmate Stout Edition is triple distilled blended Irish whiskey, which is been finished in Irish craft beer seasoned barrels. How this came to be is when Jameson, master distiller and head brewer of a local craft beer brewery, swapped whiskey and beer barrels, which resulted in this. Redbreast 15-year-old is aged in first fill and refill casks. A whiskey cask or barrel that is being used to mature scotch for the first time is referred to as first fill, and it becomes a refill cask when used for second or subsequent time. This term is generally given to American oak casks. Now the story of Green Spot is really fascinating. So in 1805, William Mitchell established a bakery and confectionery business in Dublin. In 1887, the business expanded into the wine and spirit trade. Now at that time, it was common practice in Ireland for merchants to purchase distillate in bulk from whiskey distilleries and then mature it themselves in their own casks in bonded warehouses. Using distillate obtained from Jameson's nearby distillery, Mitchell and Son matured the whiskey in a mix of casks that had been used to hold both dark and light sherries in their cellars. For the first 5 years of maturation, half of the whiskey was aged in casks that had previously held Oloroso and other dark sherries, with the other half aged in casks that had held lighter phenols. This combination prevented the darker wines from overpowering the whiskey. After 5 years, whiskies from respective light and dark sherry casks were vatted together and allowed to mature for an additional 5 years in neutral oak. Now let's dig into Scotch whiskies. Glenfiddich is owned by William Grant and Sons. It is the largest independent family-owned operation in the Scotch whisky industry. Now the Glenfiddich 12 years old is the most awarded single malt whisky. It is aged in American oak casks and sherry casks. It has sweet, subtle yet creamy flavor to it. The other products are mentioned. Now the Glenfiddich Winter Storm is aged in Canadian ice wine casks. This ice wine is prepared by grapes harvested in winter season, like when frozen. The Snow Phoenix was created by mistake. Glenfiddich batches were kept in usual American oak and sherry casks in the warehouse. But somehow heavy snow flooded into the warehouse, and since these barrels are kept untouched, nobody realized it. But later when the head distiller checked, they got a new kind of blend. And from then, these are deliberately chilled by the heavy snow. Talking about the Janet Sheed Roberts Reserve, only 15 bottles were made in honor of Janet Sheed, the granddaughter of William Grant. These whiskies were aging since 1955, and when Janet passed away, this batch was bottled. 15 bottles were created from that barrel, from which 4 were kept by the family and others were auctioned. The Glenlivet is owned by Pernod Ricard. The 15-year-old has a mention of Limousin oak. These oak barrels are made for aging of cognac. The Balvenie has already classified their products on the basis of distillery style, aged in oak barrels, hand-picked casks and stocking model. So I will just let it go so you guys can read or screenshot. Glenfarclas is owned by J&G Grant. John Grant, the J in the J&G is son of William Grant and the chairman of the company. People confused of how two companies of same family? Well, actually the J&G Grant is a separate company headed by John, and his son George is the brand ambassador. Glenkinchie is owned by Diageo, which is another alcoholic beverage seller. The products are listed below. Lafroy is owned by Beam Suntory. Now the new thing that we see here is quarter casks, which is another type of cask that has higher ratio of wood to liquid, which tends to accelerate the maturation process. In this PX cask variety, it is aged in American cask, then sherry cask, and then finished in another type of sherry cask that had aged Pedro Jimenez before. Johnnie Walker. Every one of you have heard this one before, but only a chosen of you have tasted it. Since it's quite expensive for a blended malt, but its cost is high because it's one of the world's best-selling Scotch whiskies, and the black label is number 1. Now talking a little about how whiskey companies tend to increase their sales, how they promote their whiskies. One example is here I specially placed is the Johnnie Walker Game of Thrones White Walker, which was specially released on the date of season finale, I guess. Now this whiskey is made from blend of whiskies from Cardoon and Clynelish and is actually best tasted when served chilled. Now the promotional scheme was to collab with an ongoing series, here the Game of Thrones, to increase the promotion of both the whiskey and the series. In same way, most whiskey companies tend to collab with some other products or movies or special days to create a new blend, and the people buy it for their collection. Now here Johnnie Walker actually did a lot of good things with the whiskey from inside out, but a little secret, sometimes companies, no names in particular, just change the packaging with regard to the thing they are collaborating with and sell it, and people still buy it for collection, not knowing that the product inside is same as they can find in any 8-year or 9-year malt. Now let's talk about my favorite blended scotch, Ballantine's. Creamy, smooth and complex flavor with a little bit of nuttiness. A tip, have Ballantine's Finest and Coke with 1:2 ratio and you can feel flavors of dark chocolate with a little spice but real smooth. Chivas Regal, owned by the Chivas brothers. The bottle seen is the icon, and that is a crystal decanter for better look on it. Chivas Regal produces some fine whiskies that have a deep spicy flavor. Here is Talisker 57 degree north, which was named upon Isle of Skye, which sits on the line of latitude 57 degrees north. This beautiful release from Talisker in honor of the distillery has 57% ABV. Now here we can again see that limited bottles of 18, 25 and 30-year-old is released annually in the products, which is again a way of promotion on these bottles, since these will provide a quick sale. The Dalmore. All the whiskies here are quite well explained, so I'll just let you guys sink in and read it. Thank you guys for watching. Next video will be released soon regarding the part 4 of whiskey, so do check it. And if you felt I missed something, please post it in the comment section. Same goes for your questions. And if you like the video, well, you know what to do.